finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and I am joined tonight by the incomparable Mr. Nathan Anderson, who is filling in for our beloved Miss Kayla J. And I assure you that he will make sure that all goes well in the land. Okay. I assure you. Thank you for joining us. It is such a pleasure. Y'all know I get so excited to spend time and space and energy with you. So thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Happy Thursday to you. So you know what I like to do before we get started? You know what I like to do. I like to know that you are here with us, that you are ready to share space, time, energy, attention, and some love with us. So for those of you who are joining us on our socials, can you send us just a little hello? It just makes us feel good. Can you send us a hello or a hi or whatever your greeting is that you choose to share today? We're always happy to know that you are here. And to our family members who are listening, because I will not forget to mention you. You know we love you too. And we feel the love that you are sharing. As always. And to our family members whose light is shining just a little dimly, because I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all the love and hugs that you can handle, all the extra love and hugs that you can handle, because we all need it. We do. Y'all know. I keep reminding you. I told y'all the other day when I was feeling a little, I was a little out of sorts. I was off my square. And you all gave me all the extra love I needed, lifted me right on up. That's what I needed. So Nasir is checking in on our socials. He writes, "Good evening, Sister Carol and producer and guests. Peace and blessings." Well, peace and blessings to you as well, Nasir, and to that little grandson of yours, a little love bug. Give him some love from me, okay? All right. Come on, family. I like to say hi to y'all. Let me know that you're out there. To our family members whose birthday is today, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And to those whose birthday that I missed, charge that to my head and not to my heart. I ask you all the time, for those of you, just do that for me, please. But you know that I love you. You know that I love you beyond words. So happy birthday to you too, to you as well. So, okay, let's jump right on in. Y'all know me and the recent events. Y'all know I'm checking these headlines and I'm looking at articles. Did you know that the Juneteenth flag was raised outside of City Hall on Monday? Man, I did not know. I did not know until I think yesterday. How did I not know that? And as excited and anxious as I am for Juneteenth, I'm curious to know, do you all have Juneteenth traditions and celebrations like in your family? I'm so curious to know, because I want to, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I want to do something I want to begin a tradition in my own family, and I'm not sure what I want it to be, but I'm curious to know what you're doing. So please share because, it might be something that I might incorporate in my own life. Just let me know what you intend to do. I'd like to know, are you going to Odun Day this weekend? Tell me. What will you plan to do? Will you be there? Will you be there? Will I see you there? Come on, tell me. So moving along, today, can I tell y'all? I had on 2 masks today. When I tell you, I thought I was about to spontaneously combust. That is so cruel for a middle-aged woman. Okay, 2 masks. Me walking. First of all, I had no business walking anywhere, but y'all know I only went next door. Okay, because I told y'all yesterday, don't you go outside. You let that milk wait or that butter or whatever you needed, you let it wait. But I just had to take 2 steps. Okay, but I had on 2 masks and I said, oh my goodness. As grateful as I am for life, I felt like I was about to spontaneously combust in that one moment. But I'm happy to say all is well. All is well. But how are you making out? How are you faring with these, with the hazardous air conditions? How are you making out here? Do you have your air on at your home? And if you don't, do you have your fan going? What are you doing? Let me know. I'm curious to know because I like to know about your well-being. You know that I do. But in any event, the article that I read reads, we likely had our worst air quality period Wednesday into early Thursday morning. I'm going to tell you that I pray that is true. It does look like it was, lessening out there, but I'm praying. But family, help me with this. I was looking to see footage of the fires because they said there are fires, plural. I mean, I would love to have seen footage of one fire. I just now don't get me wrong. When I say I would love to have seen footage, I don't mean because I'm a pyromaniac or anything like that. I just like to see what's going on. That's what I'm saying. Did anybody see any footage? I'm so curious to know. Did anybody see footage of one fire, let alone plural? I'm just curious. Just help me out. You know what we do here. I tell you, I don't know everything. So I share that with you and I ask you to educate me and help me if I don't. And, I'll do the same with you because that's what we do here, right? We communicate effectively and we make our best effort to adult properly. That's what we do, our best effort. So moving along. The next article that I read today was that a proposal to allocate $100 million in federal funds to pay for adult mental health programs easily passed the Pennsylvania House of Representatives on Wednesday. I was so happy to read that because, family, we've been talking about mental health challenges, and we've been talking about those who are navigating those mental health challenges. And so that made me feel really good to know that some help, is being put in place, some additional help, because, we've got programs and all out here that are already in existence. But it made me feel so good to know that some additional help is coming along as well. And so tell me about this. How do you feel about this next story? The 76ers, the Philadelphia 76ers, say they want a Center City arena that works for all. So I'm curious to know though, how they plan to make everybody happy. I'm not sure why. Do we need an arena in Center City? Do we want an arena in Center City? I'm curious. Just let me know what you think. You all, it's just one of those. I want to know what you think and how you feel. So I'm curious to know, do you think we need a new arena in Center City? Do you think the 76ers need an arena in Center City? And the last thing that I want to share with you, now y'all know I shared with you, I guess it was about a month ago, I was telling you about scams, those email scams. Well, now they have a calling scam. So I'm going to help you with this because I read this and I said, that's all. This is the last thing I need. Police in Bucks County are warning people about a phone scam where they say the caller poses as a police officer. And Salem Township say a teenage employee at a local business on Ben Salem Boulevard received a call from someone claiming to be a police lieutenant. Now, I've already asked you to be careful when you're walking about and when you're driving about because we've got we've got more carjackings taking place now. So be careful, whatever you're doing. If you're on your phone, if you're on your computer, be careful, family. Just be careful. So, family, for those of you who've just joined us, you already know you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You know, I like to have a few moments to talk with you before we invite our guests and really get into some things. So just if you want to communicate with me, you can do so by sending me a message in our socials, or you can call me. And you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Hey there, Mark. Mark is joining us on our socials, and he writes, "Good evening to all listening into this great show." Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it was eerie. It really was. He writes that it was eerie to look at the sky, but he believes it gets better from here. Me too. Me too, Mark. Me too. He writes that he's very much looking forward to absorbing and supporting the Odunde Festival this weekend. Yes, clear the air, please. I know. I know. Me too, Mark. I am in full agreement with you. I'm going to take a moment to go to our phone lines to see if any of our family members are there. One of our family members is ready to join us. Are you still there? We must be having some technical difficulties. One of our family members is on the line waiting
no,
to.
I'm sorry. I had
There
to.
you are.
And how are you, my love?
I am well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing what the Lord has positioned me to do.
I know that's right. I know that's
As
right.
Reverend
And we're
Joe said,
grateful.
I'm doing what the Lord says do. Look, just to tell you, I was calling because I got a little emotional with my young people today. You know, I do a workshop every Thursday, um, pretty much from 4 to 7. And my young people, oh man, I just got so emotional today because I was telling them about two of their major accomplishments in the program. You know, over the last 15 months, we have been working on a Dress to Success program. And
Okay.
the Dress to Success program is the closed closet where we are, working with PHA residents
Mm-hmm.
and folks who are going on an interview can come to the closet and pick out various outfits, if they're going on a new job or going on an interview. And I was telling them that, that is a real need in the community. And their ages ranges from 14 to 17. And I was
Mm-hmm.
telling them that is a major accomplishment in your life, and that is something that you should be very, very proud of. And then the other thing that they have done, each of them had created a design for your shirt, and it was the design was, to stop the violence, put
Mm-hmm.
down the gun, and each one of the students did their own design, and we created shirts of all sizes with their design. And I had told them and just sharing that because, we've been working over the last 2 years, and these are two major developments that they have accomplished. And I just got emotional because,
Mm-hmm.
we are seeing our young folks going through the tragedies, the shooting, the violence, killings. And for this moment, I was telling them they need to be proud of what they have accomplished and really should be joyful that they
Mm-hmm.
were able to make that, make those accomplishments. So, and believe it or not, my sis, my co-pilot in the program, his name is Nate.
Oh,
So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I think I got emotional simply because our young folks are just going through so such a difficult time,
yeah.
and it is just horrific that they just don't have the opportunity to do the things that we were doing when we was, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Mm-hmm. It's a different world. It really is a different world.
And I'm it just overtook me that here these young folks have did these major accomplishments, and I'm thinking on the backside of what they have to go through, but they were able to make this accomplishment. So thank you for
No, thank
allowing me
you for
that.
sharing that.
And you know what, our young folks are just so brilliant. I
They
just
are.
pray to God that those that have this hardened heart, this careless mentality, those that had no remorse,
Mm-hmm.
just asking God to help them out because we in the community could be doing so much better, making greater accomplishments than what we are if we didn't
Yeah.
have to spend so much time trying to help and figure out what's going on with our young folks with all this madness, this violence, this disruption, this killing. So
Tyrone,
thank
I cannot thank you enough for sharing
you.
that story with us, for sharing the positivity, because as you said, our youth are going through so much nowadays. They're trying
Yeah,
to navigate so many things, and it feels good to me and hopefully to the
yeah,
remainder of our family to hear a positive story about our babies. So thank you so much. I'm sending love and light to
yeah.
you and all the babies.
But
All the babies.
I had to share that because, as I say, I want to send you hugs and kisses and send you all that can be sent because I just love the love that comes from you and your show. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, that was a hug to my heart. You hear me? Family, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. I'm going to go back to our socials for a moment and read some of the comments that have come in. The first comment reads, no to the stadium in Center City. Traffic is bad enough as it is. Craig Williams is checking in. He writes, "Good evening, everyone." And Michael Chip Gordon writes, "Sending love and protecting energy." Mark Pena writes, "As for a new Sixers stadium, they could definitely use a new place for the fans, but Center City is not a good choice to build. They have enough issues with congestion and crime. So my suggestion is to find a space near the existing sports complex. Nice. Place fans near 95, 76, and the bridges." Thank you for that. I so appreciate that when you all communicate with me. You know I do. You know I do. Family, what we're going to do after the break, we're going to meet our guests because I'm so excited for you to meet them, especially after the conversation we had last night about love and about Black love, to be specific and particular. We were talking so much about, who we are as individuals and who we are as couples. So I'm excited to share with you a newlywed couple. Y'all look at me. Look at me. I'm beaming. Okay. Look, I'm beaming, but I cannot wait for you to meet them. So family, stay with us. Okay. Because we have so much more show left and we will be right back.
You're one connection away from your next career opportunity. Operation 10 City is hosting a Business Opportunity Expo and Career Fair on June 10th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Register to attend for free to meet local entrepreneurs and companies looking to hire at operation10city.com.
The Juneteenth block party at AMP is back bigger and better than before. Kicking off Wawa Welcome America on Monday, June 19th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the African American Museum in Philadelphia on Arch Street between 7th and 8th. Join them for a nonstop day of culture, history, and fun. Hosted by Word's very own Tiffany Bacon. With performances by DJ Spinderella, Cy Rock, and Soul Messiah, Mr. Man's Jam Band, and a very special tribute to 50 years of hip-hop. Enjoy free admission to the museum, family-friendly entertainment, games, food, giveaways, and more. For more information, visit July4thphilly.com.
Tune in Saturday at 3 p.m. for Let's Talk Safety with Fire Commissioner Adam Teal. Learn about fire prevention and emergency preparedness and join the conversation.
Hello, I'm Wanda Unique Davis, inviting you on behalf of the Philadelphia flagship chapter of the National Congress of Black Women, founded by Dr. C. Dolores Tucker, to our first annual She Rose Gala. We are honoring women locally, regionally, and nationally who rose to or for the occasion for the greater good. Join us Friday, June 9th at 6 p.m. at the exclusive Center Cities Pyramid Club, 1735 Market Street. We invite you to help us celebrate these women trailblazers, to include Powerhouse New York's Attorney General Letitia A. James, who will virtually deliver our keynote address, utilizing your power while leading with courage, commitment, and conviction. Win with Black Women is our national organization being honored. Get your in-person or virtual tickets while they last. Find She Rose Awards on Eventbrite or dial 267-241-8129 for more information. We'll see you there.
You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, bringing joy and power to the people for 20 years. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. So, family, this June, we celebrate Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip hop with an insightful and entertaining event. Join us for Message in the Music, Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, located at 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion on hip hop as a soundtrack to inspire or incite, a live music trivia game show with prizes, I might add, a cipher, and an open mic. Our featured panelists include Dr. Aaron Smith, Tame, Queen Joe, Deanna Williams, and Ursula Rucker. If you love music, have opinions about the state of hip hop, want to test your musical knowledge, and or want to show off your talent, then join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is only $20 in advance and $25 at the door. So get your tickets now at wordradio.com. This Black music event was brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and WXPN Artist to Watch podcast. So, family, before the break, I was explaining to you and sharing with you my excitement about the guests that I want you to meet tonight. And I'm going to share a little bit with you about each of them. They're an amazing couple. You hear me? Amazing newlywed couple at that. You hear the excitement? You can see it too, can't you? So he is a celebrated music industry veteran with a distinguished career that spans several decades. He's worked at top record labels, including Atlantic, Epic, Island, and Warner Reprise, honing his skills in identifying and nurturing emerging talent. As a musician himself, his passion for the craft and dedication to pushing boundaries has made him a true pioneer in urban radio promotion. So much that in 2015, he founded Evolution 3. I'm going to have to ask if that's the proper pronunciation. In any event, it is a full-service company offering artist development, promotions, marketing, wellness, and touring, providing a comprehensive suite of services to help artists build lasting careers. His wife, didn't I tell you, powerhouse couple, you hear me? She is a passionate advocate for health and wellness, currently serving as the vice president and wellness director of the company. Born and raised in Jamaica, she was fortunate to grow up in a household that emphasized healthy eating and instilled in her the importance of maintaining an active lifestyle. They're here to join us today to talk about being a newlywed couple and about the company that they run. They're going to share with us a few things. So, look at this. I'm so excited. Family, I invite you to meet Mr. and Mrs. Morris Landy. Well, hello, family.
Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
We're great.
We are doing great. Fantastic.
Okay. The newlyweds that you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Look, I see the trees and look, okay, there's no smoke behind you. Wait, what? You're not dealing with all of this air quality stuff, huh?
Oh, yes, we are. We're in New York, but we're inside.
Well, let me tell you.
Free zone.
You look beautiful. You look wonderful. You look happy and glowing. The two of you do. Look at the smiles, y'all. Do you see them? Do you see them? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Family, for those of you who are listening and are not watching, they just gave us a kiss. They just, oh my goodness, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So we were talking last night. We were talking about just love. And then we were talking about Black love specifically and especially. So it's such a pleasure to have you here, but especially on the heels of the conversation we were having last night. And I mean, it's just icing on the cake with sprinkles that you two are such a powerhouse couple. So it's a pleasure. So let me ask you first, because I am so disappointed in myself that I did not ask beforehand. What is the proper pronunciation of your company?
It's Evolution 3. You said it right.
Shut up and keep talking. See that? That's nobody but God. Okay. Right. He said, you ain't going to get it wrong. You will not get it wrong. You will not. Okay. He said, listen, reading is fundamental. You read it. That's what he said. That's what he said. So tell us, please, when did you get married? I know that you're newlyweds, but what was your actual wedding date?
24th September.
September 24th, 2022.
Ooh.
Not even a year.
Not even a year yet. Congrats to you two.
Thank you.
I mean, really, family, for those of you who are listening and cannot see, if you heard me, if you did not hear me, they are beaming. They are glowing. You hear me? You hear me? And we were talking last night saying, okay, so how do you find the one? How do you find the one? We're curious to hear your story. Please tell, how did you meet?
Well, how do you find how I found the one?
Yes, how you did.
Match.com.
Shut up. Wait a minute. Wait, Miss Leslie, Miss Lola, y'all listening? Did y'all hear this? Wait. Not Miss Lola. Miss Lola's married, but we were having a conversation last night about this. But Miss Leslie, we were talking. Dr. Goodman, do you hear this, Dr. Gooden? So that, wow, I'm it's funny because I've had a conversation in the more recent past with one of my friends who was trying, well, she was interested
Mhm.
in trying a dating app, but she was so terrified. And she said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I haven't really heard any stories, any bad stories. I tried two myself. No. So I clearly, tried the wrong ones. But
Mhm.
you,
We got
so
lucky.
oh my goodness. I call it divine orchestration. That's what it is.
Yes.
Divine orchestration.
Yes, definitely.
Elaine can tell you some horror stories after the show, but I'm glad I wasn't one of them.
Listen, Elaine, you and I could talk. I mean, listen.
I need to write a book.
OMG. And I only gave it a week, okay? Y'all, I only gave it a week. I said, what in the world is this?
It's
So,
wild.
okay, so you two met on Match.com. How long before you two met each other?
How long before?
How long were you on Match.com? I'm sorry, because that was in my head. The question sounded it sounded like a good one in my head. But so, how long were you each on Match.com before you met each other?
I had the free version, and the free version was, I think, 3 weeks.
He was in and out.
And when I was about to
check out,
he reached out to me. And right before his subscription was up, that's when he reached out to me.
Nice. Okay, so how long had you had your subscription, Morris?
I was in and out of it. I may have actually, I mean, it was a few months. I can say how many months it was, but I had gotten to the point where I paid for the premium version because I wanted to try and, yeah. And so, yeah, it was a few months, but I got really frustrated. I was like, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. And then I went outside of my profile, and that's how I found her.
You went outside of your profile. What does that mean?
Well, you put in all your information, what your wishes are, the kind of person you want, all that. And I kept getting the same kinds of people. And I wasn't, sometimes it would click, but not quite there. And our very first conversation was a good conversation. And it led to her saying, okay, I'm leaving town. I'll call you in a few weeks. And I said, okay, she's not interested. But she called.
I love it. I love that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to hear all about the courting stage as well. But before we get to my many questions, I've got to calm down first. I'm on 1,000. So I'm going to bring myself down. We're going to go to the phone lines. And I believe one of our family members is waiting to talk with us. Are you still there?
Yes. Hi, Cal.
Hi, Ron.
Yes, and to the two couple there, what Cal described, and I've been into my fantasy, and someone asked me, where did y'all meet? And brother, you said these words: we met at a dance, walk hand in hand, tonight, the wonderland. And I know that's the creation of love. And remember this in your relationship. In your relationship, it's like this. It's what you put in. Never put negative in your wedding vows or anything else you do. Always say for better, for better. And let me tell you, the divine is in each one of y'all. It's spiritual healing in relationship. When you take and they've proven it down through the years with some of our elders like myself and older, that once you communicate and you want to hug, it is something about that. And also, I hope this happened to you in your relationship. I don't wish nothing, but I hope this happened. I hope as y'all each and every night and do the months and years that goes by, I hope the Almighty God will heaven make y'all cry. When you take inventory where y'all have come from, there's cleansing in tears. That's the healing process. And remember this, never argue with one another. Speak with one another. And with this, you will have many years, longevity. I don't know the long time frame God have with you. You can put just a joy in your life when those Dark clouds hang low. You are the medicine. Each one of y'all have that divineness in you to uplift one another. That's purpose in life. So this is what I hope happened to you. Embrace you, because we never know what the Lord has in store, but this we do know. When you care for one another, He will bring such a peace and joy. That's really love. Love is a verb. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Thank
you so much.
Oh, Ron, thank you so much. Ron. Okay, we love Ron. Ron is is family, and Ron calls always with a positive message. And you two were just, I mean, exceptionally lucky because you got a song. Okay, so Ron sang you a song, so that was so special. So Ron, thank you so much as always. Our family members on our socials are joining the conversation as well. Miss Lily writes, "Good evening, Carol, Kayla J, guest and word family." Miss Phyllis writes, "Congratulations on your marriage. You both look so happy." See, I told you. And she writes, "Good evening, everyone. Enjoy your evening and be safe." Okay, so I know we don't have a whole lot of time. I want to know everything. Okay. I want everything. All right. Everything. So you met, listen. Well, y'all could tag team. You know. So you met on Match.com. You were traveling, Elaine. You were traveling, and you said, "Okay, listen, I'm going to put you on pause for just a moment. Okay, while I go take care of some things." And you said, "I'll call you when I return." And you called, and were there sparks? Was there magic? Was what?
The first thing that attracted me to him was his voice. And as soon as I heard his voice, I said, "Yeah, this is it."
You didn't tell me that. You didn't
"Girl,
tell me that.
this is it." Okay.
Well, you do know, yes.
Listen, when you reach our age, I was 57 when I met him, and he was 62. So I just knew it. When you know, you know.
Yeah,
You know
that's true. That is so
and,
true.
I said, okay, then we had the conversation, and it was great conversation. 2 days later, I had to leave because I had a planned trip to Jamaica to see my family. And I said, "Listen, I will call you back when I return, and we can have our first date." So he said, "Okay." And I knew from the sound of his voice that he didn't believe me. But I went and I came back and I heard a surprise in his voice. And that Friday, we were on a date, honey. Okay. He took me to, what was the restaurant you took me to?
Nobu.
He took me to Nobu in the city. Okay.
Wait, you went to Nobu?
Nobu, yes.
No, you went to Nobu. OMG. You know what? Okay, Morris. All right. Morris was playing hard. Okay. He said, "Listen," he said, I am going to win this game. Okay. I'm going to win this game. I'm going to win this game. I love it. I love it. You know, we were talking, like you said, Elaine, you said, when you know, you know. Morris, did you know?
I did.
You did.
And I held on for dear life.
Amen. Let me tell you something, especially when we're talking about, being, I like to say seasoned, we're in our during our maturation process, when you find someone, and now let me ask you this, have either of you been married prior?
Oh, yes. Married, divorced. Oh, yeah.
So, right. So we've done that. We've been there. We've done that.
We're experienced.
So now we're still, okay, listen, okay, that was in the past, okay, because we're here now, we're happy, and there we have it. Just for, purposes of information, point of information, and because our family members, I want to let them know and make them aware, because we were talking about this just yesterday about, finding love or being open to love as well.
Right.
Because, after having been in a prior relationship, if you've had an experience that wasn't so favorable, you might not be as open. So it really feels good to hear the both of you say, "Yeah, well, I've been there and did that, but I was still ready. I was open.
Yeah.
I was, ready for mine, because that clearly wasn't, that was yesterday. I was ready for today."
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And, to what you're saying, that I had to be ready. I remember, and I have to make a correction. I was 56 when I met him, and he was 62. I remember being in my living room one day, And I said, God, I want you to prepare me for my husband. Show me what I need to do to prepare me. All those idiosyncrasies, all of my bad habits, and let me tell you, he told me to go to the mirror. And Carol, I went to the mirror and he started showing me things about myself. I couldn't believe it. I was bawling because I said, is this me? There's no way I'm like this. No, I'm not like this. What are you talking about? This is probably my twin. And he showed me some stuff, and it was hurt. Even now, I get a burn in my chest because it was just, I couldn't believe that I was so bad. Not bad, but
wait a minute.
So many issues.
Elaine, wait a minute, because we're going to unwrap that. But we have to take a short commercial break. So family, stay with us, okay? Because Elaine is going to tell us about how bad she was when we come back, okay? Stay with us.
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program, and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up. Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Philly, your time is now. Calling all business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs. Operation 10 City Greatness Unlocked is coming to Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania Convention Center on Saturday, June 10th. Register today for free at Operation10City.com.
Philadelphia, Black men are dying from preventable diseases. You can be a part of the solution. Come out to Temple University's Aramark Star Complex on Saturday, June 17th at 7 a.m. for their annual African American Male Wellness Walk and Run. Walk for your dad, brother, husband, son, uncle, and yourself. This is a free family event with kids entertainment, free health screenings, and much more. Visit aawellness.org and they'll see you on Saturday, June 17th at Temple University's Aramark Star Complex, walking to save Black men's lives.
Music is my heart and soul. It's more precious than gold. Turn on some music.
This June, we celebrate Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip-hop with an insightful and entertaining event. Join us for Message in the Music, Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion on hip-hop as a soundtrack to inspire or incite. There's a live music trivia game with prizes, a cipher, and an open mic. Our featured panelists include Dr. Aaron Smith, Tane, Queen Joe, Deanna Williams, and Ursula Rucker. If you love music, have an opinion about the state of hip-hop, want to test your musical knowledge, and or want to show off your talent, then come join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You'll even be able to sign up to become a Word member. Make sure you do that before you do anything else. Be sure to join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Get your tickets now at wordradio.com. This Black Music Month event is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and WXPN Artist to Watch podcast.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with our guests this evening, Mr. and Mrs. Morris Landy. That is Morris Landy and his beautiful wife, Elaine Landy. And before the break, Elaine was sharing with us, and I want to tell you, Elaine, I applaud you for sharing that and saying that. Last night we were talking about accountability, and we were talking about owning who you are, all of what you are. We were talking about that because that's important, about being honest with yourself before you welcome anybody in. It's so important. And you said, look, I looked into the mirror. I asked God to show me. You said, who is this? But I applaud you for that. Because you have to be honest with yourself. You know what I mean? And look at what happened. You accepted who you were and said, okay, I got some work to do.
Sure did. I didn't want to make the same mistakes again. That was the bottom line. And I said, God, whoever you have for me, I'm not going to reach out to him, because your word says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So he's going to find me. But, I had to put my resume out there for him to find me.
Right. Amen. And
that's what he did.
Wow. Yeah. So the two of you are such a power couple, coming from, I should say, working a lot in the entertainment industry. I know, from what I'm reading, Morris, you've been in the industry for eons. I cannot imagine what the dating process was like for you. Okay. I cannot.
Well, first off, I had no desire whatsoever to date inside the music industry.
Hello.
Whatsoever.
Hello.
Wasn't going to happen.
Hello.
I have great friends, and I want to keep them as friends. That's it. But it was, the bottom line is that when I come home, I want a different kind of energy when I'm at home. And I want to feel like my partner is more than my partner. And when we linked up, we've had many conversations about so many things, and it's been incredible, the experience. It's been bumpy, but those bumps make you better, and I think they've definitely, in a short period of time, made us so much better as a couple. I mean, I truly feel, and I've never felt this way before, that this woman, I'm connected to her. I never felt connected to anybody before. I feel connected, and I feel like she's a part of me. So, we're selfish people, so if she's a part of me, I'm happy to be selfish.
I love that. I love that. Ms. Phyllis from our socials writes, God showed you yourself, Elaine, and you changed for the better. And she sends a smile and a heart to you. And Keith Harris writes, y'all make me want to have to watch Stella Got Her Groove Back again. You know what? Listen, y'all are a mess. But no, seriously though, you two are beaming, and I'm loving it. I love the love that is just emanating from the two of you, and listening to you say, "Yep, well, I went on this site. I got to a place where I was open. I said, okay, I'm ready to go back out there." We were talking again. I keep referring because this conversation is so new, so fresh. But here we have you here today. And, just comparing the two, we were talking about, dating at our ages. So I'm in my 50s as well. And I was talking about, I said, okay, now listen, I don't know where our wonderful Black men are, but I'm looking and I'm listening to you, Morris. You said, look, I knew what I wanted and I knew what I did not want. And I think that's such an important thing. It's so, like, that's key. because here Elaine asked God to make, she said, can you please prepare me, help me to prepare myself, because I want to do better and I want to do differently. So the two of you were basically, you know, as they say, you know, God is preparing your other half for you.
Right.
So Elaine, you had begun the process. And then Morris, you came right on along. You know, it sounds like you were along in your process. You were already along in the process of getting yourself together.
No, I did not see myself until my mirror came along. She was my mirror.
Wow.
So there was, I mean, I definitely had a lot of work. I put her through it a little bit, but my heart was always there. You know, I knew what I wanted, but I saw, you know, just like she indicated that she asked God to show her who she was. I did the same thing. I asked God to show me who I was, and she was there to show and tell me who I was as well, you know. And there was so many things that I didn't see about myself, and I was put on a trajectory to see those things. So they were constantly coming at me, and I was like, I wanted so much to change all of that because I knew she was my wife, and I wanted us to have, you know, a wonderful marriage, a great marriage. And I wanted it to be, you know, I wanted to have a strong foundation. So I had no problems changing what negative existed in me, you know, and that it was really important for that to happen. And again, I wanted, just like her, I wanted this to work. I didn't want anything else outside of the fact that this has got to work, you know. And I love being around her. I love the conversations that we have. I love the trips we take. I love the trips we don't take. We just have a great time together, you know. And it's like, what the heck am I? Why would I even like? Why would I? I always wanted to have the capacity to change, and I know sometimes people have difficulty in changing, but I knew that the only way that this was going to work is if I really took stock of myself and really changed what needed to be changed in order for this to be on the proper path.
Miss Phyllis writes again, God's timing is always perfect.
Always.
I could not have said it better, Miss Phyllis, really. And you're so right about that. I'm curious to know, so what did you guys do on your first date? What was that like?
Stop it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, it wasn't love at first sight, okay?
Whatever.
He showed up. He showed up in cargo shorts, sneakers, and a t-shirt.
There was a method to my madness.
Morris.
There was a method to my madness.
And this method, what was this method?
I'm gonna let her finish telling her side. Then we're gonna get to the good side. Go ahead.
So, you know, I was kind of thrown off because I'm used to a certain, you know, look. And, I mean, you know, and I was like, okay, what the heck is this? I didn't say those words. I said, you know, and I was like, okay, Elaine, just go with the flow. But throughout the night, it was during COVID, and it was outside, and because I had a lot of police officers that are friends, they always told me, you know, you look around, make sure your surroundings, you know, all that stuff. So he took it another way. He thought I wasn't interested, but I was just taking in my surroundings.
Hello.
There was a whole lot of personalities going by.
Hello.
And but towards the middle, going towards the end, we just started vibing. We just started talking, and the conversation was good. And I think the date lasted 2.5 hours, maybe more, maybe longer. Yeah, we were just in our own world, and it was on and popping after that.
I love it. Oh, wait. Now Morris said, "Here comes the good side." Okay, now he's going to.
She didn't give you all the detail.
No. Oh, okay, she gave us the outline.
That detail, but she just kind of
the cliff notes. She gave us the cliff notes.
That's it. So here's the thing with me. I actually went on, I think it was 3 dates in total on Match, and I was
okay.
Yeah, I was not looking. There was nothing there. So the 2 dates prior, I was just in this zone. Bottom line is, I didn't want to be in my head. I have a tendency of being in my head and thinking too much. And so what I did was I said, you know what, I'm just going to have a good time. That's all I was viewing it as. I was just going to have a good time. I wasn't, so I didn't dress up the way she's used to.
So you weren't trying to impress. You just said, no, I'm just going to have a good time. If she likes me, she does. If she doesn't, okay.
That's where I was. Because if I get in my head too much, I'm going to kind of clam up. And I didn't want to do that. So I did all the right things, I felt.
Well, clearly, look.
So I saw her drive up in her car, and I went over to her, and she was parked, so I paid for her parking. And then I took care of my car, and then we walked over to the restaurant, and I walked ahead of her because I'm used to walking. I'm used to walking ahead to make sure everything is right before we get there. That was
okay. Well, entertainment industry. So you're used to okay.
Yeah, we go in, make sure everything is set up
right
before.
Now I'm aware. Right. Okay.
So I went in, and she kind of misinterpreted why I walked ahead.
Hello, Maurice.
Yeah.
Hello, because she's not your client. She was. Right. She was like, "Look, sir."
Right. But
okay.
I watched her. Going back, I'm going to digress a little bit. When she got out of the car, I was completely blown away.
Oh, so you were playing hard to get, Morris. I see what's happening.
No, I wasn't getting my hopes up. I was like, whatever. I'm just going to.
Wait, but this is what we're going to do though, because I want to hear all of this. Family, listen, we've got to take just a short break, though, but you stay with us, okay? Because we're going to break Morris down here. What's going on here? You stay with us because we'll be right back.
You're one connection away from your next career opportunity. Operation 10 City is hosting a Business Opportunity Expo and Career Fair on June 10th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Register to attend for free to meet local entrepreneurs and companies looking to hire at operation10city.com.
In honor of Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip hop, this is Blackademics.
Oh, freedom.
Some 52 years after enslaved Africans were emancipated, the United States witnessed a great migration of formerly enslaved Blacks from the South to the North. Many settled in cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, and New York, Harlem to be exact. This section of New York became the epicenter of the creative energy and artistic expression known as the Harlem Renaissance. To quote the Smithsonian, the Harlem Renaissance encompassed poetry and prose, painting and sculpture, jazz and swing, opera and dance. What united these diverse art forms was their realistic representation of what it meant to be Black in America, as well as a new assertion in our civil and political rights. The Harlem Renaissance instilled in many African Americans across the country a new spirit of self-determination and pride, a new social consciousness, and a new commitment to political activism.
If we must die, let it not be like hogs hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our cursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead.
That's rapper Ice-T with a poem from Harlem Renaissance poet Claude McKay. The explosion of Black creative expression during the Harlem Renaissance greatly influenced American popular culture. Sound familiar? In later episodes, we'll investigate the culturally rich relationship between jazz and hip-hop and how many discounted the legitimacy of both genres.
All that jazz.
This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by Pico, WXBN Artist to Watch podcast, and Posigen. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media, we're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Philly, your time is now. Calling all business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs. Operation 10 City Greatness Unlocked is coming to Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania Convention Center on Saturday, June 10th. Register today for free at Operation10City.com.
We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is Word Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Family, welcome back to the top of the second hour of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That is WURDradio.com. Listen, Word family, it's that time again. It's time for our special early bird membership drive. You know it's me, Carol Riddick, and I am telling you that we need your support now more than ever, especially this year when we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. For 20 years, Word has been the place where Black people can speak and be heard in their own voice every day, all day long. Support from our members has allowed us to expand our programming and provide culturally relevant information across all of our platforms, on air, online, on social media, and through community outreach events. So, if you are not a Word member yet, please join or renew today at the discounted rate of $75. Visit us at www.wurdradio.com/earlybird or come to one of our events to join or renew in person. Check us out at Odunde on June 11th, Word's Black Music Month celebration on June 16th, or for the Juneteenth weekend celebrations on both June 18th and 19th. Or for more information, you can go to wordradio.com/earlybird. So, I just want to let you know something, Mr. Morris. Okay, Miss Phyllis from our social media here, she is on to you. Okay, she says, oh, you were putting her to the test. Okay, so family, if you've just joined us, we've been talking with Mr. and Mrs. Morris Landy, and they are here sharing their journey with us of being newlyweds after having been in previous relationships, you know, some time ago. We're not talking about that, though. We're talking about love right now, in the here and now. And they've been sharing with us, and I asked about the first date. And when I tell you, Morris said he showed up in some cargo shorts. Y'all. Okay, let me tell you something. Mr. Morris said he was tired. Listen, this may have been his third date. Third time from Match.com, right? His first with you, though, Elaine. First with you. Okay. You and your cargo shorts, Morris.
He will not live that down.
Walking in a 5-star restaurant, yes.
Oh, okay. You know what, Morris? Okay. So you were really like, okay, look, I don't know what tonight's going to be. So whatever it's going to be, it's just going to be. And look at what happened. Divine orchestration said, knock, knock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The fourth date, he asked me to be his lady.
I thought it was the third.
Oh, the third date? Third date. He asked me to be his lady.
When he knew that, he said, no, it was the third. It was the third. So wait, okay. So the first date, you go to this 5-star restaurant, you sit, you're talking, and it feels like it's forever. It's wonderful. It is just lasting so long. I love that. And then the second date, what did you do on your second date?
Yeah, tell me about the second date, honey.
What happened? Oh, it was 100 degrees, and the temperature was it was ridiculous.
It was hot.
And okay. I was trying to be a lady. Okay. Usually I wear sundresses, bras, because it's so, it's just so constricting and stuff. I said, I'm going to be a lady and I'm going to wear a bra with my dress. Girl, I don't know whether menopause hit me that day, but the heat was coming from inside. And when I tell you, I promise you, it looked like someone poured water on top of my head. How I was sweating.
Listen,
I was in his car. I said, "Please don't judge me." I reached under and I took off my bra.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I see how
what she was doing.
He said, "Oh yeah, this is the one."
I did preface it by saying, "Please don't judge me," and I was hoping he wouldn't judge me.
Oh no! He said, "No, this is the one." Okay. He said, "This is the one." Because you were so comfortable and you were so real. You were like, "Look, okay, something's happening right now. My superpowers are kicking in." So, because that's what I call it when my superpowers are kicking in. When my superpowers kick in, you beware. But so by the third date, you said, "Yeah, this is it."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I actually knew after the first date. Now, I knew on the first date. I didn't say anything on the second date. But on the third date, I was like, okay, I'll tell her.
You knew on the first date when she didn't turn you around with your cargo shorts. Is that what it was? When she didn't say?
No, it wasn't that. It was the conversation.
And I'm teasing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like you want the conversation to really lead you to the point of saying, "Oh, this is right."
Yeah, the conversation was real.
Nothing else mattered.
It was deep. We spoke about
the dress she wore made a big difference, and it helped a whole lot. It was really helpful.
She came ready for the date, Morris. Okay, she came ready.
Don't get it twisted. I was ready too.
He just wasn't dressed that way. That saying, "Never judge a book by its cover."
But you know what? I love it because the one thing that the both of you said was the conversation was everything, and that's real connection. That's spirit right there. That's nothing but spirit right there, and that is so key. It's so important. It's so important. And I love that because the both of you said, and you had these big smiles. There's the conversation. I don't listen. Now, I'm not going to ask you what you talked about, but that conversation was one heck of a conversation. I'll tell you that. Because the both of you said
it was just getting to know you kind of stuff.
We spoke about politics. We spoke about everything.
Wow.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Wow. Family, do you hear that?
It wasn't the surface kind of conversation that people get into. No, we went deep.
It was real. It was real.
Yeah.
See, I love that. And you know what? I love that though. I love that because you both, like you said, Morris said, I might not have been dressed like I was ready, but I was ready. The both of you were your unapologetic selves. I love that. Family, do you hear this? Okay, for those of you who've just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with this magnificent, beautiful couple right here, and they are sharing with us their journey of being newlyweds, and I'm loving every minute of it, okay? Our family members are joining in the conversation on our socials, and you can do the same. You can join us in the conversation on our socials, or you can call us. And you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I think this is wonderful. So now you said, okay, the third date, I said, Morris, you said, will you be my lady?
Yes.
I said I wanted us to be exclusive.
Oh, yeah. See, that's a real man. You heard? Okay. He said, I want us to be exclusive. Okay. 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 And Elaine, what did you say?
Yes.
Okay. She said, I did not hesitate. I said, yes.
I did not. I like that old fashioned thing, not the texting, not the over the phone, but face to face. That was one of the things I stipulated. I said, listen, I'm too old to text. Okay. I'm not into that. Talk to me. I want to hear if you know how to form 2 sentences.
Lord, listen. You're telling my whole life here, Elaine. You're telling my whole life. I said, I'm not interested in a text relationship. I don't know where they do that or who does that. No. So let me tell you, what, let me ask you this, I should say. What was it that made both of you or individually decide to go on Match.com?
I don't even.
I know why. I mean, for me, I just, like I said, I did not want to date, people in my circle. That's one. I didn't want it to be anywhere close to where, I wanted something different. I wanted something different. And sometimes when we're solely involved in picking, we make bad choices. So I kind of wanted to take me out of the equation somewhat. I was still involved, obviously, in the process, but this was definitely different. And I definitely feel like I got what I wanted, what I ultimately wanted.
And for me, I'm not into younger men. Nothing wrong with young men. At being in my 50s, I've always liked men older than me, put it that way. And I felt that Match was where they would see me, I didn't want others. I think I was on, another one. I don't remember. It's that workout. It was a workout where you meet people of like mind. I don't even remember.
Okay. I don't have a clue. How about that? I don't have a clue. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not a going out person. Even I would take myself out to dinner, take myself out to plays and all that stuff. But I just wasn't. I guess the way I look, people say I look too serious and I look unapproachable. So no one was talking to me, So I said, you know what, better way into going on that app, go on the app.
Nice. I love it though. It was just happening, just a thought like, okay, well, let me try this out. And you did the trial version at that.
I paid $140.
Oh, really? Is that how much it costs? Yeah. I wasn't doing that.
Well, look at that. And you found each other. Okay.
It worked. Yeah.
And you found, I love it. Well, family, I'm going to have to say, because I know we've been all over the place with time tonight, but I have so enjoyed your visit. I am hoping that you will come back and talk more with us about about your company, about life, share some more with us, because I'm just loving the stories and the conversation. But we have to move to our next guest. Oh, Elaine and Morris, y'all. I'm gonna wind up calling y'all and say, okay, now what happened?
Wait a minute. And there's something else I wanted to talk about outside of us talking about our company. But I want to talk about this amazing voice you have. So we have to come back and talk about Evolution 3, our company, and we're going to talk about this voice of yours.
Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd.
Now, I want you to go on evolution3.net and just look at his portfolio, because he's very interested in your voice. This is the plug.
Well, listen, and that's what that's what we're going to do too. So can you repeat the website once again, because I want our family members to go too, because I wanted to talk about Evolution 3, but I was so engrossed in your life together. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is have you come back and talk about the company as well and everything that the two of you do. And hopefully, okay, that's what we'll do. It'll be a part 2. That's what we'll do. So we'll have you come. Yes, sooner as opposed to later. How about we do that? Okay. Yes. So please share the website once again, because we want our family members.
I'm sorry, it's evolution3.net. And my social is Blonde Locks. That's BLONDLOCS. Blonde without the E, locks without the K. Hence my blonde locks right there.
I love them too. They're beautiful. Beautiful.
And mine is evolution3_Landy. That's the company. And then mine is, my personal one is right.
Molandy.
It's Molandy. I forgot that was supposed to give that. Okay.
See, and your other half, she was right there to pick it up. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Molandy.
_Landy. And Blonde Locks, BLONDLOCS. And then the website is evolution3.net.
I love it. I love it. I am so hoping that you will come sooner as opposed to later. Miss Phyllis writes, great conversation. Enjoy your evening. Miss Phyllis was right on it. We were right here. We were right there. We were right there. So to the Landys, congratulations once again to an amazing and wonderful life together. And I'm saying this like we're not going to talk soon, but you are going to come back soon. Right? That's right, because we've got so much more to talk about. Okay.
We got to talk about the voice. Yes.
The voice. Do you hear this? The voice. Wait, but before you go, I want you to hear about your most recent event. You hosted an event on June 6th. Can you talk with us about that before?
It was well, I got to give you a little bit about Evolution 3 before we
please.
But Evolution 3 is a company I started in 2015. I'll give you the backstory on that later. But it's a company that focuses more so on artist development, which is something that's missing from the major labels these days. We want to work in the capacity of cultivating talent, showing people how to hone their craft. And I know you know about that because I can hear that in your voice. When I listen, I was like, from the school of Phyllis Hyman, Miss Jean Carney, wrapped up in some gambling huff and a bunch of other things. A little John Coltrane in there, and then you throw my man Will Downing on one of your tracks too.
Okay, continue with the comment.
That's all my family right there. All my family right there. All my family.
I know.
Okay.
But I've worked with so many artists over the course of my close to 40 years, from Luther Vandross to Babyface to, just a ton to Run DMC. But what's missing for us in this time is artists that are being developed to the point where they're able to have careers versus one hot record in a moment. So we want to be that go-to that people can point to and say, if you go over there, you're going to have not just one shot, but a long career. And that's what people are missing, and you know that you only get that if you put in the work. And so we can get into what that work consists of on the next go around.
That right there. Oh yeah, that's a whole episode. Okay, because there's so much truth to that. That that some of our family members may not know. There's a whole life right there in everything that you just said. And quite honestly, here we are in 2023, and again, as you said, things are so different now. Yeah. That it's an integral part of an artist's or an entertainer's career. And it's the one element that's been removed. Like,
why was it removed?
Why was it? Yes. Now that's the question. Why was it removed? Oh, see, listen, you won't get me in trouble. Y'all won't get me in trouble. But what we're going to do, we're going to schedule you to come back, as I said, sooner as opposed to later. We have so enjoyed your company and your conversation, and we cannot wait, as I'm saying, and I want you to know, for it to continue. So we will have you back. I'm telling you. Once more, can you share? Oh, no, you should. Once more, can you share the website with our family members, please?
Evolution3.net.
And that's the number 3. Evolution the number 3.net.
You hear that, family? Evolution3.net. That is the website. We've been talking with Morris and Elaine Landy, and they've been sharing with us about their journey, about their company, and about so much more, because that's what we do here on Love and Life. But But what we're going to do in this moment, we're going to take a short break in a couple of minutes. I should say that. But when we come back, we're going to talk with our next guest, and we're going to talk about some other things under the umbrellas of both love and life. So we love you, Morris and Elaine Landy, and we will talk with you soon. Family, stay with us, okay? Don't you go anywhere, because we'll be right back.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
When the weather heats up, everyone starts planning to hit the road. But for any time of year that you're traveling, here are some tech tips to think about. First, take a picture of important documents and store them on your phone. Things like your driver's license, passport, or health insurance card can be stored securely in the Notes app on iPhone or the Google Keep app on Android phones. If you're heading to a foreign country, download the Google Translate app and save that country's language for offline use so you can communicate even without an internet connection. And finally, make sure you back up any devices you're traveling with before you leave, just in case they are lost, damaged, or stolen. Here's wishing you safe travels and have fun. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Music is my heart and soul. Smoke precious, then go. Turn on some music.
This June, we celebrate Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip-hop with an insightful and entertaining event. Join us for Message in the Music, Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion on hip-hop as a soundtrack to inspire or incite. There's a live music trivia game with prizes, a cipher, and an open mic. Our featured panelists include Dr. Aaron Smith, Tane, Queen Joe, Deanna Williams, and Ursula Rucker. If you love music, have an opinion about the state of hip-hop, want to test your musical knowledge, and or want to show off your talent, then come join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You'll even be able to sign up to become a Word member. Make sure you do that before you do anything else. Be sure to join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Get your tickets now at wordradio.com. This Black Music Month event is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and WXPN Artist to Watch podcast. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That is WURD radio.com. welcome. I just want to send some love to some of our family members who are joining us on our socials. Hi there, Gary. Gary Bryant is joining us, and he writes, "Good evening, Carol Riddick and Word family." Also, to Brother Joey Dixon. Hi there. He too writes, "Peace, Word family. One love and jazz to you." I love it. I love it. I love it. So much love, the love that you all share with us, sending your messages. Please continue to do so because you know we love it. We love it. You can share your message on our socials, or you can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. So our next guest, she's no stranger to the show. You have talked with her a few times, and she's going to share some things with us tonight about an ongoing topic that we have here, because, you know, here on Love and Life, we're all about love, life, and everything under both umbrellas. Y'all know what we do. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to ask you to welcome Dr. Zanita Driver. Hey, Dr. Z.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I want to say that conversation gave me so much hope.
Oh my God. What?
I was like, give me more. Never mind my segment. This is good stuff.
No, Dr. Z, no. I know, but they were so beautiful. Such a beautiful couple.
It really was.
I mean, I told them, I said, "Oh my goodness, you gave me so much hope in this moment." So
I felt the love through the computer screen.
Weren't they radiating?
Yes.
I mean, I
said,
radiated. They would look at the way they were looking at each other.
The way she filled in his sentences, knew where he was going to mess up at. I was like, oh yes.
They're so cute. They were so cute.
Bring them back. Let me know. I'm going to tune in that day.
They were just beaming and glowing. I'm going to say, okay, so Dr. Z will be here. So family, as I was saying, you know, we've had this ongoing conversation about our health and wellness. And I was telling you, you know, that I'm on this journey to trying to get me together, you know, to do some things better. And some of you have told me the same thing, that you want to do some things better. So what do? We do research and we provide information. And Dr. Z, I don't know if you saw or you heard, I don't know if you heard me read this article earlier, but the Pennsylvania House, okay, it's $100 million for adult mental health services. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
Oh my God.
I'm familiar with that conversation.
Well, let me tell you. So this article read a proposal to allocate $100 million in federal funds to pay for adult mental health programs easily passed the Pennsylvania House of Representatives on Wednesday. I was so happy to read that. You know, we've been talking so much about mental health and different challenges, you know, that it feels good to know that some additional help is coming, and that, you know, those that are in legislation are actually taking, you know, mental health challenges more seriously. I will say that. I will say that.
The mental health has been one of those disorders that has not been taken seriously. Insurance companies didn't want to provide financial services for mental health. So to hear that and to know that there is an evolution now that's happening that is giving life to mental health makes a world of a difference.
I'm so sorry that we had to have some of the experiences that we've had in order to bring about more awareness. But I am grateful that we are paying attention and that we are, you know, actually making an effort to do more. I'm grateful for that. You know, so grateful for that. So I want to jump in because I have a few questions for you, Dr. Z.
Okay. Let's talk.
So I'm curious because we've been talking about a few different challenges, mental health challenges, right? Correct. Are there, but I was curious to know, because I'm always curious when we talk about mental health disorders, challenges. I don't know if all of the disorders or challenges require medication. And so I said, let me ask Dr. Z, are there some scenarios where someone actually, well, no, I'm curious to know, do most disorders, mental health disorders, require medication?
So there's really no one size fit all approach to treating mental health. There are some that absolutely is treated better with medication, especially like our personality disorders, things like that. But whether or not a person needs medication is really based on a case by case basis. What is the person struggling with? How long have they been struggling with it? What are the symptoms? What are the signs? What are the things that's happening in the individual's life that may warrant some type of psychotropic medication? So whether a person needs medication really boils down to what's happening in their life and what their primary care doctor or their psychiatrist determines is best for them based on their presenting symptoms.
Okay. Okay. So now, bear with me. So, how does one know? How do they actually know if they need to be on medication, or or what signs? What signs do you look for, or does a doctor look for to determine if a person needs to be on medication?
So for every psychological disorder, there are a criteria, just like every other medical condition, whether it's diabetes, whether it's heart disease, whatever it is, there is a criteria. And what the doctors will look at is how does that criteria play itself out in that individual's life? Does that person do most of these things here? Has that person tried alternative means to treatment and it's no longer working? Has that individual been in therapy, talk therapy with a therapist, and maybe they're still struggling? Then the psychiatrist or the primary care doctor may say, hey, listen, we may need to implement some type of psychotropic medication to help stabilize the struggles that individual is struggling with. The thing about psychotropic medication is it really helps balance out the chemical levels in the brain. That's what psychotropic medication does. So once that person is struggling and they're like, I'm doing everything, nothing is working, now we're talking more about a neurological issue. We're talking more about something that's going on in their mind that may require some type of medication to help them address their struggle.
Now, I always ask for a pass for my ignorance, but they say the dumbest question is the one you never ask.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious to know, sometimes you see individuals that are medicated and it affects them so greatly, like their whole demeanor, their more, well, for lack of a better way of saying it, more reserved. Why is that?
Because, the brain is a very tricky organ within our body. We can do tons of research on it. We can try all the things, but the brain is tricky. It's like a room that has a bunch of electrical compartments that all are wired differently. So what happens is that when that person gets medication, sometimes depending upon how much medication is, how much they're receiving, how much they're required to take it, it ultimately requires a certain amount of time for it to adjust within that person's body. Their body now has to figure out that, okay, there is a new chemical or there's a new substance coming into the system, and it needs time for the body to connect with the brain. So that is why you will see what you were just attempted to describe, an individual that may seem a little distant, a little off, disconnected from their original self, because now the body is trying to connect with what's going on in the brain based on the new substance, i.e. the psychotropic medication that the client or the individual is now being prescribed due to their psychological struggles or illness.
So as the body adjusts to the medication, does the person's demeanor change, or does it normalize to some degree? I don't want to say normalize because I don't know what normal is, but does it does a baseline? Is a baseline created? I should say.
Right. I get what you're asking. Absolutely. Over time. So sometimes
Okay.
everybody's body is different. Everybody adjusts to the medication differently. So some people may adjust quickly. Some may take a longer extended period of times. Some people may need to be titrated down or maybe increased. So that is why it's so important for a person who's struggling with some type of psychological illness or disorder to connect with the psychiatrist, because as they are now getting the medication, the psychiatrist is monitoring, tracking, what are the signs? What are the symptoms? What's happening? What are the adverse reactions that that individual may be experiencing as a result of the new medication that they're entering into their blood and in their mind and their body?
Wow. Family, I want to take a moment to go to our socials as some of our family members are checking in. Pastor Daniel Black writes, Pastor Black is watching. Yes, welcome, Pastor Black. We are happy to have you here with us as always. And Miss Phyllis writes, good evening, Dr. Z. Have a blessed night. And David Poindexter shares, hey, my sister, Dr. Z. So you're getting all this love, Dr. Z. We
I
love Dr.
see
Z. We
them.
love
I
Dr. Z
see
here.
them. I
We
see
love
them.
having you here, imparting this knowledge and wisdom. And family, I'm encouraging you because, what the intention is here is to create a safe space. And what we want to do is inform one another, educate one another, and open the discussions about some things that we might not ordinarily discuss with other individuals. So here's the place to do it. This is where we do it. This is what we talk. This is where we talk about everything. And and in case you didn't know, now you know. This is where we talk about absolutely everything right here. And Dr. Z always comes to help us out with our questions about mental health, the disorders, the challenges, whatever questions we have in that realm. This is when Dr. Z comes in. We say, Dr. Z, I have a question about, and then she breaks it down for us. So the other question that I have for you, as it pertains to medication, I know when we have physical ailments, there are some medications that after prolonged use affect our physical wellness. Is that the same with psychotropic medication? Does it have
Right.
okay?
Absolutely. So what ends up happening is once the brain feels better, right? Once the medication starts to work, it starts to balance out those chemicals that are imbalanced. It ultimately impacts over time the individual's well-being, their ability to kind of function in the world a lot better than they were prior to the psychotropic medication. So ultimately, whether it's an antidepressant, whether it's a psychotropic med, the goal is to stabilize the individual from a neurological perspective, so that now when they go out in the world, they have a little bit more drive, they have a little bit more energy. Hopefully they feel better about themselves, and now they can do the thing that they may have been struggling to do prior to taking the medication.
So is there a possibility of the medication having adverse effects fit to to one's overall physical wellness as well?
Absolutely. It can have a positive effect, but just like every medication, it comes with its side effects. I remember looking at a medication that my grandmother had to take, and it had tons of side effects. And we're like, why are you going to take the medication if it's going to cause these same side effects? But the reality is that all medication, whether it's medical, whether it's psychological in nature, it will lead to some potential side effects. And so it could have a positive reaction. It could have somewhat of a negative reaction, but the ultimate way to measure it and to support the individual when they're taking it is to make sure that you're checking in with your doctor that prescribed the medication. Or if you're not able to do that, you have a loved one that's checking in for you to say, hey, I noticed that this person is doing something different since they've been taking this medication prior to them taking it. Is this normal? Is this not normal? Sometimes the doctors will bring that individual back in, look at what's happening, or maybe they'll say, hey, listen, this is normal. It may take some time for their body to catch up. Keep them on the meds. We'll bring them back in 30 days or 60 days. We'll do a reassessment and we'll see how they're doing at that time. But the key to this and the understanding behind this is understanding that it takes time for the medication to adjust within our body.
You're right about that. It is important to keep that in mind, because most of us think, okay, well, I'm taking medication, so when does it kick in? When does the change begin? But you're right. It's medication, so it takes time. And like you said, especially and particularly with a psychotropic, we're talking about the brain. And the brain it's delicate, but it's complex.
Very complex, extremely complex. It's like a room with so many rooms within the room, right? Like it's so much that goes into our brain. And so it's a very complex organ. One of the other things I think it's important to understand that a psychotropic or antidepressant doesn't cure the disorder. What it does is help manage the disorder. So now you're able to go out and do the things that you may have been struggling to do in the past. There's sometimes people feel like it didn't take it away. It's not going to take it away. It's just going to help you function in a way that works for you and works for your ability to operate within the world.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to ask that, I was curious to know, are there disorders that do go away with medication, with the use of medication or therapy even? Are there disorders that do go away? But what we're going to do, though, before we get into that, because Dr. Z, I want you to break it all down. But before you do so, we're going to take just a short commercial break. Family, listen, you too are welcome to join the conversation, and you can do so by sending us a message on our socials, or you can always call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. But whatever you do, stay with us, okay? Because we'll be right back.
You're one connection away from your next career opportunity. Operation 10 City is hosting a Business Opportunity Expo and Career Fair on June 10th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Register to attend for free to meet local entrepreneurs and companies looking to hire at operation10city.com.
The Museum of the American Revolution invites you and your family to experience Black founders, the Fortson family of Philadelphia, now on display. Explore the story of free Black Philadelphian James Fortson and his descendants as they navigate the Revolutionary War, build a business in Philadelphia, and contribute to the abolition and voting rights movements. The unique journey and exceptional story of the Fortson family explores the legacy of the American Revolution and the ongoing work to realize the principle of liberty and equality for all. Information and tickets at amrevmuseum.org.
Word family, it's that time again. Our special early bird membership drive. Hi, I'm Sarah Lomax, Word President and CEO. We need your support now more than ever, especially this year when we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. For the last 2 decades, WURD has been the only place in Philly where our people can speak and be heard in their own voice every day, all day long. Your membership support has allowed us to expand our programming, deepen our community engagement, and provide culturally relevant information across all of our platforms, on air, online, on social media, and through community outreach events. If you're not a Forward member yet, please join or renew today at the discounted rate of $75. Visit us at wordradio.com/earlybird, or check us out in person when we'll be at Odunde on June 11th, Word's Black Music Month celebration on June 16th, or for the Juneteenth weekend celebrations on June 18th and 19th. For more information, go to wordradio.com/earlybird. Thanks so much.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. com. Some of our family members are joining us still. I love it. I love it. On our socials, it's Dr. Z. That's what it is. They're loving Dr. Z. Von Don writes, Dr. Z is so informative. I love seeing her. See what I mean? Good evening. And Zenobia Driver Black writes, I love the education about mental health. It is something that is not taken seriously. I so agree with you. And Pastor Daniel Black responded to me and writes, yes, some of the side effects from medication can cause some real issues that can affect someone adversely. I was curious about that, because we talk about medications, but I was just curious to know, just as a caregiver, having been a caregiver to both of my parents and not having anything to do with mental health challenges, but physical challenges, and knowing that their medication, they're always, like you said, Dr. Z, there's always the possibility, there's side effects with different medications. And so I was just curious to know, if the same, if it was the same as it pertained to antidepressants or psychotropic medications as well. But like you said, the brain is so complex and it's such a delicate muscle. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My poor babies. And so before the break, I was asking you, do you remember the question, Dr. Z?
You were asking me about therapy versus.
Yes. I said, you don't remember. Yes. So I was asking you, are there different disorders that go away with either therapy or medication?
Absolutely. So a lot of times, that's a great question, actually, because people often say, how do I know if I should see a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a therapist, right? So I think there's a strong need to understand the distinction between each of those. The psychiatrist, which is a medical doctor, is required to prescribe the medication that's needed for the individual to deal with the psychological disorder that they may have been diagnosed with. The psychologist will make the diagnosis. That's the person who will study, who knows the DSM inside and out, will say, this is what you're dealing with. This is what your diagnosis is. And they may work alongside with a psychiatrist who will ultimately prescribe the medication based on the diagnosis that the psychologist may have given. Then you have your therapist who can also do similar things as the psychologist, but the difference is, because the therapist will diagnose as well, but the difference is for the therapist is that now they're going to implement more talk therapy approaches, more things that are more therapeutic in nature, whether it be cognitive behavioral treatment, whether it be trauma-focused treatment, whether it be a formula that's based on talk that helps the person feel better. So how does a person know whether they should get talk therapy or psychiatry, or just see a psychologist? Is really based on what caused them to struggle in this way. Has this been an ongoing thing that this person has been dealing with for the majority of their life? That may mean that there's a chemical imbalance in the brain, and they may need to see a psychiatrist, psychologist to start to look at more of some type of medication. But they can also see a therapist, because what that therapist is going to do is help walk them through that, help process that with them, help talk that through with them to figure out, what does that mean for my life right now? But let's just say there is an onset, there is an antecedent, there's a trigger that has happened. I've lost my job, I've lost a loved one, I'm dealing with a divorce. There is some transition in my life that I'm just shocked by. It has shocked my system. I don't know how to deal with it. It's causing me not to feel the way that I typically feel baseline. I may need to talk it through with a therapist, and I may meet weekly to meet with that therapist to process those things. So it really depends. It's really case by case, as we talked about earlier, but it really depends on where that person is, what that person is struggling with, and ultimately how long they've been struggling with it, and what is the magnitude of the struggle for them to determine whether or not it's talk therapy or psychiatry. For example, depression, right? Some people have depressive affects where they may feel sad sometimes, they may struggle because of something that's happened, but that doesn't ultimately mean they have a serious depressive disorder, right? It may just have a major depressive, disorder. That may just mean something happened and I need to work through it. There's an adjustment in my life and I'm demonstrating some depressed mood because of it. And I need to work through it. I need a therapist. But let's just say I just have natural low serotonin levels in my brain. I'm just struggling. No matter what I do, there's nothing happening. Everything's good. I'm just depressed. That may require medication at that time.
Wow. First of all, Dr. Z, thank you so much for explaining that. Quite honestly, I never knew the difference between a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a therapist. For those of you who are watching, you see my child is asking for extra love right now. So Chloe's saying hello, Dr. Z. Dr. Z, I think she came up here because of you.
Chloe
Because
is family.
she
That's the family. That's family. Hey, Chloe.
Okay. She was asleep.
How are you?
She heard you talking. But no, seriously though, thank you so much for that explanation, because I never knew the difference. You know, we've heard the terms psychiatrist and psychologist, but I was never clear on the difference of the two. Quite honestly, Miss Phyllis, she says the same thing. Thank you, Dr. Z, for telling us the difference. And hi, Chloe. Yes, Chloe's the best. She just found it so necessary to pop in. It's Dr. Z. She loves Dr. Z too. Robin Dixon Young writes, "Good evening. Love the conversation, Dr. Z." It's so would there ever be a scenario, I should say, where well, no, here's the question, because now I'm thinking of the psychologist, the psychiatrist, and the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
At what point would you move from one to the other, or is there? Well, I'm sure the case is that in some cases, but at what point would that decision be made?
Mm-hmm.
Where you move from one to the other?
Great question. So let's just say you were in therapy, you've been in therapy, the therapist has utilized every treatment modality that they can to try to help you feel better, and you're still struggling. That therapist may say, hey, listen, we need to connect you with a psychiatrist or your medical doctor, someone who can understand that this is the diagnosis that you have, and this is the medication that's needed for this particular diagnosis. A therapist, a master's level therapist, and even a doctoral level therapist cannot prescribe medication. It has to be a medical doctor that ultimately prescribes the medication to the individual. So what happens is it becomes a treatment team, and everybody works together for the best interest of the individual. And then in turn, based on the diagnosis, the psychiatrist or the medical doctor will then prescribe the medication. So you'll go from therapy to maybe medication if you find that therapy isn't working, or you may go straight to medication and partner it with therapy to work through the issues. It's not a one or two. It can be both together. It's not an and or, it's just all the things, right? That what fits best for that person. Is it an and? Is it an or? Do they need both? It really is, again, case by case. So some people have medication, they don't have therapy. Some people have therapy and they don't take medication. It really just depends on the person and the struggle.
So what if you have a family member that you believe needs help, needs mental health help? Is it always a case where is there ever a case where the individual just has to go seek help themselves, or are you able to kind of, what can you do? How about that? That's the better question. What can you do if you believe you have a family member that needs help?
So there's two ways. There's voluntary. So if a person is having a psychiatric meltdown or breakdown, ultimately we have 302s and we have 202s, right? 302s is involuntary psychiatric treatment. 202s is voluntary psychiatric treatment. So based on the person, and it's so funny that you're saying this because this is such a prevalent conversation. I just had 2 conversations within the last 24 hours about individuals who have family members or friends who actually had to admit themselves or had to be admitted because of a psychiatric breakdown. So what happens is if that person realizes that something's not right, they may go into a psychiatric institution. In our area, the Philadelphia area, institutions are Horsham Clinic, Norristown, Friends. These are places that are designed just to treat mental health issues. So maybe what happens is that family member refers or recommends to the family member who's struggling, you need to go to one of these places. You need to admit yourself. You need to tell them that you're struggling. I'll go with you. And we need to have this conversation with them together. And what they'll do is they'll assess that person and they'll make a determination at that time if that person needs to be admitted for ongoing or temporary or partial psychiatric treatment to help stabilize that individual for whatever amount of time that they deem necessary. So it can be involuntary where the person realizes that it's not, and you have involuntary where the person is taken because they don't realize that, and that's typically younger children, but 302 is what we call them, where they don't realize that they are having a mental health breakdown.
Wow. Dr. Z, thank you as always. Family, you already know Dr. Z is joining us every Thursday. We're going to continue these conversations because I just feel it's so necessary. I know I am learning from you, Dr. Z, so I cannot thank you enough for the education that you are giving to me. And I'm going to thank you on behalf of our family members who are gaining an education as well, because this is an area, and we've talked about this, Dr. Z, this is an area in which we all need assistance and help so that we can do better for those who are in need of help. So family, here we are. I hate this time. But here we are. I'm thanking you as always. I'm extending my utmost gratitude to you as you continue to support Love and Life. Just the special thanks to each and every one of you, to our guests tonight, Mr. and Mrs. MORACE Landy and Dr. Z. Dr. Z, we're getting some questions. So next week, we're going to have to continue this conversation.
Absolutely.
We definitely need to talk more about this. Even Pastor Black is saying, we need to discuss this a little more. So please, next week, can we continue this conversation next Thursday when you come back to see us?
Yeah.
Okay, you hear that, family?
Comment. Yeah, Phyllis, I will answer it next Thursday.
Yes, Dr. Z will be back next Thursday. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much to Nathan for helping me out tonight, and to Miss Kayla J, who is absent, but we love you and we know you love us. Family, we're all in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Have a great night, family. And be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. for another edition of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I'll see you at Odunde.
Philly, your time is now. Calling all business owners, leaders, and entrepreneurs. Operation 10 City Greatness Unlocked is coming to Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania Convention Center on Saturday, June 10th. Register today for free at Operation10city.com.
Tune in every Saturday at 4 p.m.